Hello everyone, this is Michelle Sarmiento. Welcome to my new channel that is all about fashion history, travel, trends, and more. And today let's talk about the trends. I want to make a parenthesis and discuss about my recent experience in social media and this new idiocracy trend. I'll make this video in two parts because it's going to be a little bit longer. So if you get tired of the first video, you don't need to watch the second one. But if you like the first one, I encourage you to watch the second one. Okay? For the ones that don't know my Instagram account, I started back in 2019 with only digital and fashion illustrations and art. Then at the same time, I created a YouTube channel about traveling. Unfortunately, the pandemic hit and I totally stopped. I took a big break and I lost a lot of followers. Then I decided to retake the account a couple months ago with the news that I was caught up in the middle of this new idiocracy trend. Basically, the shorter, the dumber, stupider the video is, the more success you obtain. So scroll down into other accounts to see what's going on. I came out with the conclusion that officially we enter into the idiocracy age. I call it idiocracy age for the name, but also for the 2006 film. That is exactly what is going on right now. That film is supposed to be a satire of the future destiny of humanity, but turned out to become reality in only a couple years after the movie has been released. What is sad about this idiocracy trend is that many talented, famous people started to follow it in order to catch up with the trend and the new generations. But please don't do it. I know it must be frustrated that after many years of struggle and so much talent to obtain fame, suddenly the masses are turning their heads into talentless, lazy jokers. After the 6 seconds video that becomes viral, they're turning into stars. Okay, going back to the 2006 film Idiocracy, there is a theater scene where the cinema is packed of people wanting to watch a movie that already won several Academy Awards. And I won't tell you the scene. You must watch the movie if you haven't. It's literally what's going on right now. Literally. I have seen some short videos that I don't understand how they generate so much audience. And I'm not against comedy because I love comedy, but this is not even that anymore. I don't know how to call it. I don't know if it was the pandemic, the climate change, or who knows. But suddenly people started to get entertained and amused from the most simplistic, everyday stupidities. Here are some mild examples of short videos that I unfortunately have to watch them. Not because I want it, it's because once a video, once becomes viral, there's no choice until, thank God, to social media, you can block it and you no longer will see that content. I remember a reel or a short video of this regular guy, random guy, saying, well, not saying, it was the banners with the message, when my wife bought leggings, then he put his leggings on, then he slapped his own butt, and that's it. In the past, people would probably reacted saying whatever, or good for you, or laughing a lot, I don't know. But when I went to see the comments, my jaw simply dropped. There were literally hundreds of comments, and very positive, by the way. Not just about slapping his own butt, but serious comments like this dude made a history channel documentary about the 7 Wonders. I was shocked. Also, a lot of people save it as his favor and share it. I didn't know that by the simple act of slapping your own butt, you can create a big audience eager and intrigued to know more about you. No more long lines of castings, no more acting skills, no more voice skills, no more talent. Just slap your own butt. And voila.
The Oscar goes to...
There's a YouTuber called Joey B. Toons. He exposes exactly what I'm talking about in this video. I was so happy when I found his channel because I feel good that I wasn't the only one sharing this feeling of sadness, this frustration of what's going on right now on social media. In one of his videos, he said he didn't understand how talented artists like this, people were born with no arms, could paint with their mouth, holding the brush with their mouth, and create such a wonderful art pieces, and only have like 400 followers. Well, people who basically the only thing they do is showing their butts, they have millions. Joey Toons. I know the answer, and I'll explain why soon. Going back to the videos, short videos, another short video that it was about this guy saying, well, not saying, the banner with the message. When I go to the supermarket and wanted to buy plants, he holds first one pot of a plant, then in 2 seconds later, he filled his cart with plants. Just that. Again, in the past, people reacted like, cool, good for you, whatever, laughing a lot. No, we're full of comments of all sorts. Like he was telling the most exotic, unusual experience of life. Again, many people save it as his favorite and many people share it. Who knows how many times. Talking about no need to talk, I have some videos of people just doing this with the banner, with the message, with the most simplistic message saying, when you think that this is ugly, but it's not. I mean, you could make a few of those to just remind people what you do, but the entire page just about that and being enough to generate a big audience, that's insane. Here, people calling these individuals influencers, they must check the meaning in the dictionary first. Influence means it's the capacity to have an effect and the power on people or things. This is scary. It means that it has some simplicity, stupid, but I was proclaimed by the masses as a social media influencer because simply I overpassed the 100K followers of subscribers. I have the power to turn humanity into the next dump and dumper. Hope this trend will pass soon, because if not, I'm afraid we'll get into another dark Middle Ages. But then I thought how everything in life has its positive and negative side. The positive thing that I want to see about this idiocracy trend is that by people getting amazed and amused by seeing others from a very distant country or continent doing the same exactly everyday task as in their kitchens, in their cars, in their bathrooms, they're like, oh my God, we're very similar. Even if we have a totally different culture, language, beliefs, So I guess a good way to break the cliche or the stereotypes by finally realizing, they are very similar no matter what part in the world we live in. Just a theory. I feel that this new idiocracy trend is like when you take a child for the first time to the pre-kinder and they see other kids, and realize they have the similar patterns and gestures. They're like, oh my God, Hio, Chio, they're like me, even if we have different parents. So now the answer to everybody's been waiting. Why these individuals are becoming influencers. Thanks to the universe that I understand psychology and hypnosis to at least understand the root cause of this insanity without totally lost the hope in humanity. In hypnosis, there is a term called mirroring. It means if you like to manipulate or attract other people, just mirror what they do. So I thought, oh, maybe this is exactly what this called influencers are doing. Just mirroring the most simplest everyday task that everybody does in their daily lives, as washing their teeth, putting their shoes on, and just saying a simple joke along with that. People in other parts of the world will react saying, oh my God, they're like me, so I just must love them. But here's the interesting thing. If you're able to tap into the most primitive part of people's brain, that reptilian brain that is all about survival, food, reproduction, sex, shelter. But how that works? Okay, people after scrolling through their phones like 100 times, eventually they were getting to this, what is called trance or unconsciously meditative state, kind of like a dream, that when an image appears that will triggers their primitive brain of survival, they will react, and without judgment, without caring if the content is good or bad, they will hit like. Then I realized, so slapping your own butt will tap into the primitive brain of reproduction, survival, and plants will probably hit into the fruit survival. But don't be scared. Of course, the more unconscious you are, and the low, we can say the low Q you are, will become an easier target to these individuals. So I must say, tell me who you follow, and I will tell you the state of your intelligence. So now here's the downside for those who think they can become famous overnight, but just doing it repeatedly, idiocracy acts. Those who love tapping into people's primitive brain just to get likes won't have a very long-term positive effects or careers, because once the survival rush passes, people will forget completely of who you are and will only remember that trigger that hit their primitive brain, not the subject. And how many people can slap their own butts? But how many people can teach you about how to heal childhood trauma? Okay, now, if you're able to tap into two people's consciousness in the way of teaching them or make them conscious about something or aware of something they ignore, they will never forget about you and your content. It is a longer, tedious process, but the most rewarded in the long term. That's why I make a video called I'm Not Turning Into an Idiocracy Vampire. If you haven't watched it, it's on my list. Okay, I remember I didn't want to do TikTok. I didn't want to do TikTok. I refused to do it until I learned that TikTok also will start welcoming all sorts of subjects, not just dumb and dumber. That's what I just began only less than 3 months ago. At first, I thought only about posting about art history and in general, but then I thought about fashion history because I think it was like a happy medium, because fashion has been the result of many political, religious, and social movements through history. So my final thoughts about this is that people who are in their homes, or you are in your home, and you have a talent, a craft, or something you can teach to others, please do it. Don't be afraid. I know it is very frustrating right now. The talented people who have nothing to offer, nothing to teach, except for like tapping into people's primitive brain of survival, are becoming influencers. But trust me, as any fashion will pass, hopefully. But if you have something to offer, to make people more aware, conscious of, knowledgeable about something they ignore, you will change their lives and they will never forget you. And believe me, if you believe in karma and dharma, you know what I'm talking about. This is your host, Michelle Sarmento. Don't forget to follow for more fashion history, travel, trends, and more. And until next time.